Hi and welcome to the studio. I wanted to share with you my preferred way of working with a charcoal drawing on a canvas in preparation for a painting. It's a topic that comes up a lot, but there's a really simple approach that I find works very well. First, I start with a charcoal drawing directly on the primed canvas. So this is primed with Gamblin oil ground, and I've drawn in charcoal directly on it. You can probably see there are marks and lines from where I've erased, and it's kind of smudged the canvas a little bit, but that's not at all an issue, so don't even worry about it. It's not going to show up in the final painting one little bit. So go ahead and do your charcoal drawing on the canvas, erase, change things, leave marks, make it messy. It really doesn't matter. It is important to note that charcoal is better for this kind of drawing rather than pencil. Just because graphite, it can migrate through the oil paint in time and eventually sit on the surface of the painting, whereas charcoal just gets worked in with the paint, so it's a little more inert in that way. So I always make sure to start my drawings with charcoal and not graphite when I'm working on a painting. Now the big question that comes up though is how to fix this drawing to the canvas so that it doesn't move when you actually go to paint over it. So right now, if I were to paint over this, my lines would get smudged and disappear, which sort of defeats the whole purpose of having a drawing to start with. We're going to use a very simple solution to navigate this. Now here I've got some Winsor & Newton Purple Lake, which is the color I'll be using for the outline of my drawing. All I'm going to do is mix this with some Gamblin Galkyd medium, so it's more liquidy and it'll dry quicker. And then trace my charcoal drawing with that mixture. So I've just poured an amount of Galkyd on the palette, and I'm mixing the paint just on the outside of that rather than mixing it into the whole thing, so I can easily control the ratios. I'm using a fine synthetic brush. I'm just starting to trace the outlines with this paint and Galkyd mixture. If you want the outline to be darker, just use more paint. And of course, you can use any color you like. It doesn't really matter. Once this dries, it will fix the outline to the canvas, and you'll be able to paint over it without having the outline shift on you. I'm not really worrying about the outline being a bit thick maybe, or not entirely precise, because I'm still going to be kind of checking the drawing as I paint. If you apply the paint very thinly, when you go to actually paint your painting, the outline might show through if you've used a dark outline like I'm doing. So keep that in mind, depending on your process, of course. You might prefer a lighter outline if you use thinner paint. And that's it. All you have to do now is wait for this to dry, which should take just about 24 hours or so. And then the drawing will be affixed to the canvas. You don't have to worry about the charcoal at all. It'll disappear and you won't see it at all in the painting. And then you can proceed with your underpainting or your first layer or whatever your next step would be. It's been about 24 hours and the outline is all dry now. You can rub your hands over it, nothing's going to move. So it's ready for your next stage, for the underpainting or first pass or wherever you want to go from here. And that's how I fixed the charcoal drawing to the canvas in order to have it stay put for the next stage of the painting. I hope you found that helpful, and thanks so much for watching. Happy painting. Visit NicoleSleethAtelier.com for art courses, demos, and more.